Hey everybody, Dustin DePierac here, calling this Jeremy Price. The Ginge rocking the Atlanta Braves St. Patrick's Day hat, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't ask it.
It doesn't really
It just
matter.
showed up one day and I started wearing it.
Happens. One way or another, trying to move through this one fast. Indiana
Really
wins
fast.
88-52.
And that's been Scoop Talk.
88-52 over Florida Atlantic. And just sort of one more of these, basically, one more team that they're, that's grossly overmatched against Indiana. Just didn't obviously have the firepower at all, and IU just pretty much rolled them from the very beginning. It was 6-4, and then it was 20-8, or 24-8, and from that point on, there wasn't anything particularly close. I guess first, let's get the Jeremy Hollowell thing out of the way. If we could do it the same way Tom Crean did. Got to say thanks to Tom for that, for just coming out with it at the very beginning and giving us a prepared statement. Appreciated that. It's all he was going to say, and but appreciated that. It was nice to have that out in the open and not have to sort of try to drag it out and make that ugly or whatever. So we appreciate that, Tom. But the situation was this: if you didn't see it on the scoop yet, you never know. He doesn't, but I don't know. He sees stuff. He gets angry at some stuff. Anyway. But anyway, point was, he said that Jeremy Hollowell, that it's not a disciplinary thing, it's not an academic thing, but it's a private, personal matter that he's working through. That could be any number of who knows how many things. But
I think it's important to note he's still with the team. I mean,
he's still with the
think
team.
That does matter.
Right, it does.
In situations like this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there was a lot of people. I got a lot of Twitter reaction today. People saying, "Well, he's transferring," and we don't have any reason to believe that's the case. I mean, you never know.
It would kind of surprise me if he was hanging around.
If he was still hanging around and just being there,
as opposed to being in Indianapolis at home, maybe looking for somewhere to go.
Right, exactly. I think if he was looking to transfer, he would have
Please
pieced.
Understand if that happens. Don't.
Right.
Like, well, I thought on Scoop Talk overtime. But
anyway, yeah, the same thing, basically, is what I would say. So I'm not exactly sure what that means or where that is going forward, but just so that's addressed and everybody sort of knows where that's coming from. It's some form of personal issue. He didn't flunk out, and he's not being punished for something disciplinarily, that is at least according to Tom. So anyway, back to basketball. Did we learn anything today, basically?
Perea?
Yeah, that's actually where we'll start. Good idea. Hunter Perea, 10 rebounds, 14 minutes.
Well, yeah, I think it's 10 rebounds in 14 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's wicked fast.
It's not surprising to see a 6'8" guy get 10 rebounds against Florida Atlantic. 10 rebounds in 14 minutes. Ken Bykoff.
We're saluting him.
That happened. Cody's other said that happened pretty fast.
Yeah, no, and it was just sort of there was just a lot of display of athleticism. I think if you watch Perea tonight, if you're an Indiana fan, you see a lot of things you don't like and a lot of things you really do like. One way or the other. Obviously, the rebounding was great. The length and the athleticism on this guy is just off the charts. It's incredible that there's a human being built like that.
Rebounds.
Yeah,
he did it in AAU play, but you see him do it in college.
Yeah, it's just so easy for him. He's just there, and he's got so much length, and there's so much. His ability to box out because shoulders are huge. Arms go on forever. Just boxing a guy out, leaping up and getting the rebound. He was literally crafted, crafted by genetics to do that.
Yeah, Jerry Meyer is one of our national recruiting analysts, and he said he said this on Twitter after the game, that he's argued for a long time that Perea is an NBA-level rebounding specialist. And that's a strange thing to think about, but he says, there really aren't that many people that can do that at the college or professional level, you can just send them out on the floor and know that they're going to be able to be productive in that area, that almost no one will be able to stop them from impacting the game that way. Mm-hmm. I don't know that he's going to be like this every night, but that's part of his potential, and that's part of why I think people see him as a professional prospect, even as raw as his offensive game is because he can just swallow up boards, and you're right, he's so explosive, he's so athletic, and we started to see him add strength and some toughness down low. It's just, if you can't move him off the block, you're probably not going to get the rebound, because he doesn't even have to be in great position when it comes off the rim. He's just got to time his jump right, because he can reach all the way across.
He can. He's built very differently, but in that sense, as a rebounding specialist, he reminds me of Reggie Evans, who's been in the league, I think, for 10 years. I remember I covered him back when I was covering Penn State in college. It's just a guy that's been able to hang around just because he can rebound. He can also set picks and that sort of thing. Perea's got that kind of ability. That being said, the offense.
Yeah,
not so much.
Price,
you want to hit on that one?
Well, I think Perea. You mentioned Reggie Evans. I think Ben Wallace maybe.
Right.
Type
absolutely.
Really
that's actually better. Jeremy wins this round.
But I think tonight was a snapshot of what you're going to get with Perea. You've got a guy that can hit the boards, be a factor on the offensive glass, block some shots. He had a couple nice blocks tonight.
Yeah.
And when he catches the ball, he can finish.
Yeah.
When he doesn't catch the ball, not so much.
Yeah. Or at least he's definitely gotten better since the last time we saw him, and at least sort of understanding how to get to the rim with the ball.
Yeah.
I think he's not necessarily added a ton of post moves, but he's smooth enough. His footwork's good enough where if he catches the ball around the rim, he can at least get it to the rim without traveling or anything. Because honestly, he was that raw the last time we saw him in AAU play. I don't know that he is that anymore. And I thought about this tonight, looking at the stat sheet after the game. If Butler isn't Hunter Perea's first game of the season, how different is that game for his ability? Because Indiana really needed
a rebounder really bad in that game.
4 or 5 more rebounds than it got, and if it got them, it probably wins the game in regulation.
It's true. It's true.
So,
and
rebounding is just so important to this offense. We talked about it before. It gets him out in transition faster. I think 5 of his 10 rebounds led directly to
transition. Just throwing it out the other
scores.
end, outlets. Yeah.
Or his own putbacks. He had I think 1 putback dunk or something.
Yeah, one just straight sort of tip in that he was.
That's it. Yeah.
Right at the cylinder. I wasn't even sure if it was in the cylinder or not, but he just managed to just go, like that. We saw a little bit of Peter Jerkin tonight. Saw him drop a rebound. It didn't. But obviously he's got a lot of length. Obviously he's got a lot of development to do. I mean, Tom Crean said he was asked, had you considered redshirting Jerkin, or was that sort of the reason why he didn't play Wednesday night? He said he never really thought about it. He said nobody asked him, but we sort of all asked him why those guys didn't play, but that's not material. Anyway, but so he's going to play. He's going to do something. You're not exactly sure where he's going to fit in and how many minutes he's going to get, but he's at least going to play this year.
He's clearly an available option now. I mean
and once you've used them, you sort of have to.
Well, and now all factors are in play for Indiana down
right,
low.
Exactly.
There's
everything that's going to be there.
They've got to develop chemistry, and the young guys have to work on court movement. Obviously, they both have to work on their offensive ability.
Just basic fundamentals.
Yeah. But now you've got everything in play, and I think that's important because I think that Jerkin and Perea add things defensively that Indiana didn't before. Obviously, Elston, he's a guy that's going to pop up on the scouting report just about anywhere he goes. I mean, he's not a big part of it, but here's a shot maker. Here's a guy.
He's going to hit those shots. It was tough because Crean made a point to say that he'd have his legs tonight, and that's true. He's short. He was just short on everything.
Yeah.
He had some really, really wide open looks, and just seemed short rim. Just didn't have the legs quite yet.
He's energetic. I mean,
and he's a leader.
The point is, Indiana added tonight a few lines to the scouting report ahead of Big Ten season.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's December 21st and you're playing Florida Atlantic. I think that's the most you can ask.
Right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the real problem is I think Jerkin probably is the guy hurt the most by having to sit out those 9 games because he really needed to get
just
a taste of what it was like to get some work in game situations, not just practice.
Yeah.
And there's only 1 game left for him to get that work in now.
Start him against Jackson.
Which I was really surprised that that's why I'm even more surprised today why he didn't play against Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Not just, I mean, he's got 1 more against Jacksonville, but I mean, everybody else got in, still not sure why. But
what's happened has happened.
Anyway, in terms of other stuff, the reasons they won the game, Cody Zeller had 24. He's really figured out free throws. I think there was a
50 of 65 in his last 8 games.
50 of 65 in his last 8. I think he missed 4 of his first 6 against Butler. I believe he's hit 22 of 23 since. That's the math I did.
He started 13 of 24 in the first 4 games, and then
just shot it higher. I just asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Just shooting it higher." That's it. And then that's really it. I mean, he already had pretty good form. He just was a little bit flat on it, and it seemed like he's just starting to hit it. He had 24. He was more aggressive tonight. Oladipo had 16. Watford had 17. Halls had 10. And basically, they just did what you thought. I mean, they shot 61.8% in the first half.
Not even a slow start.
Yeah, it was slow for 3 minutes, and then after that, it was just over. They just rolled them, and they've got 1 more of these, and then Big Ten play. And we'll cut this one off early because I don't think we have a whole lot more to say, gentlemen, do we?
Nope.
I think you've covered
Happy holidays.
But happy holidays, Merry Christmas, the whole bit. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys a week from now. Thanks.